try! France have got the try! What a try for France!
Green was a striker, not a right winger.
Oh, Bruno! Oh, it's 4-2. Lewandowski's got a hat-trick too, and it's in! And RB Leipzig have scored! Oh, and he has as well! Oh, and he went in! He did crept in!
Hey, who? Not John. I don't think it's John. Oh, it's Copped and it's
32-30! Oh my god! Wow! Oh, take a bow. I'm standing up.
Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Sport. This afternoon we've got the Premier League scores coming up between the matches between Arsenal, Southampton, Chelsea, Leeds, and Liverpool versus Aston Villa. So, go through the lineups a bit. Arsenal versus Southampton, Ramsdale starts in goal. Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney complete that back four. Quite typical of Arsenal this season. With Saka, Partey, Xhaka, Martinelli in the midfield. Xhaka just coming back recently from injury. Odegaard playing behind the sole striker Lacazette. And for Southampton, 4-4-2, quite typical. Caballero starts in goal with their goalkeeping crisis continuing, managing to sign Caballero just recently to fill in that void. Back four of Livermore on the right, Walker-Peters on the left, in the middle, Bednarek, Stevens or Stephens, however you want to pronounce it. Midfield four, Teller and Redmond out on the flanks, Ward-Prowse, Diallo in the middle of that midfield, and up front, Broja next to Armstrong. So notably for Arsenal, we've got the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang missing, so that's something that to be discussed. And many different absences for Southampton, likes of Che Adams, Armstrong, Forster, McCarthy, both goalkeepers out. Romeo and Salisu are both out as well with yellow cards that they picked up in their last game. Chelsea versus Leeds. Chelsea going for a 3-4-3 to try and play well and get out of this stump. Mendy starts in goal. The back three consists of Azpilicueta, Silva and Rudiger. In the midfield four, we've got James, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Alonso. So still no Kovacic and still no Kante. And then the front three consisting of Werner, Havertz and Mount. So the talking point there will be the fact that Lukaku is starting the game on the bench. So Leeds start with a 4-1-4-1 with Shackleton, Firpo at the full-back position. Melly in goal. Shackleton, Firpo in the full-back positions. Lorente, Ayling in the middle of that defence. Four shorts ahead of them with Calvin Phillips absent due to injury. The four ahead of them, Harrison and Rafinha out wide. Roberts and Dallas in behind the sole striker, James. So there, we could talk more about the fact that Bamford is again missing after coming back. Phillips is missing. Rodrigo is missing. Koch, Cooper. It's going to be a tough one for Leeds, and I don't think Chelsea would have wanted or could have had any better opponent to face than Leeds right now, certainly after their little slump after losing to West Ham just last week, drawing Zenit in midweek and struggling to get past Watford the other week, and also the draw to Man United in their recent games. So to get back on track, Leeds was probably a good option. And the big one that everyone's talking about, Liverpool with Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard back at Anfield. Liverpool starting with a typical 4-3-3, Alisson in goal, and Alexander-Arnold right back, Van Dijk, Matip in the middle, Robertson on the left, Thiago, Fabinho and Henderson in that midfield three, quite typical as well. And up front, Salah, Mane and Chamberlain, with Jota being out injured, or Jota on the bench, sorry, but there were questions as to whether he'd be fit, so I'm guessing that must be due to injury. And Firmino is also out due to injury, so Oxlade-Chamberlain is the one who fills in that position in the front three. And Mane and Salah are also both started in midweek, so that's also something to take into account. Is Origi going to come on? Well, probably will. And Villa going for a 4-3-3 as well. Martinez in goal, Mings, Konsa continuing in the centre of that back four. Cash on the right, Target on the left, nothing changing there. The midfield three being Louise, Nakamba and McBegin, the same as last game if I'm not wrong. Ramsey, Watkins and Young in that front three. So, get in touch. It's always nice to get interactions. Any questions, anything, just drop them in the comments, and these matches should get underway in just over 5 minutes. So don't hesitate to follow along, like, comment and subscribe. I'll be watching all three as best as I can, despite 3 matches being, in my opinion, practically impossible to follow at a time, but I'll try. Burgoyne back in the chat. Love having Burgoyne along. He's always in the chats, but not on the streams, despite the multiple invitations. You know, you do you, Burgoyne, it's fine. So, anyone looking forward to particular matches? Do we think that Liverpool and Chelsea can continue to win, with Man City winning before against Wolverhampton? Bit of a contentious match. The match was won by a Sterling penalty. Whether it was a penalty or not, I think could be very much open to debate. Moutinho raises his arm like that, it goes under his armpit, and the referee gives a penalty, and VAR doesn't overturn the decision. Thought that was a bit strange. It definitely touches his sleeve, you see, but then the fact that he's folding his arm down could make it considered a handball. Best thing about FPL is how a player can get an assist for being fouled. Get in, Bernardo. Well, Bernardo wasn't fouled. He put in the cross. You see, it's you could have streamed today. Then I am a silly person for not having invited you then, Burgoyne. But you're in England, so how can you get these matches? I'm in a place where these matches are available to me. Not like in Britain at the moment. I'm saying all that, but won't say any more. Thing to note about the match again with Manchester City and Wolverhampton. Jimenez just before half time getting a red card, so 2 yellow cards in the space of a few seconds. The foul was a very harsh yellow card, but then he gets in the way of the free kick and sticks a leg out trying to block the ball, which is the second yellow card offence, and he gets sent off. Wolves held on valiantly, and it took a Sterling penalty to complete the 3 points for City. A harsh one for Wolves, very harsh. Wolves who would have been looking to try and break near that top 4 position. Kirsty Stanton saying hi. Hello, Kirsty. So I'm going to try following along all these games today. All 3 of these games. They should be kicking off at around about the same time, but things can change. And anyone got any predictions for today? How is Gerrard going to deal with coming back to Anfield? Let us know. Want to get in touch in the chat page in the comments. So Liverpool on my main screen now. I've got the Chelsea one and the Arsenal one on 2 different screens. So I'm trying to follow as best I can these matches. I can't get the games, but could have had a chat, sing song if my lungs were better. Ah, yes, Burgoyne singing the songs. I was meant to do Mariah Carey the other week and I didn't. I could try. Maybe full time. We'll see. If Jamie Burgoyne is good to us. I want Liverpool to win because I'm a Rangers fan. Interesting. So what's the connection there, Kirsty? Because ex-Rangers manager, do you have some hate towards Gerrard for leaving Rangers like that, or is it just because Rangers and Liverpool have a connection? So really, I'm worried for Leeds today with their backline of Ayling just coming back from injury and starting in that centre-back position, which is, I think, deeply worrying, if I can say it like that. Just trying to get the Arsenal game up on another computer, which is not doing me so well. My prediction is that Luke will spam 8 messages in our chat about Liverpool. Some respect to Gerrard. Okay. But you still want Gerrard to lose. Is that the idea? So we should be 1 minute away from kickoff as we speak. So looking forward to these games. Arsenal without Aubameyang, which is a talking point. If he was fit, maybe he might not have started anyway. But starting with Lacazette up front, how will that play out against Southampton? That could be interesting to see. Southampton, who will stick to their 4-4-2 or 4-2-2-2, as some would like to call it. And it looks like the Chelsea one is just going to kick off before the Liverpool one. Liverpool one paying their honours with a round of applause. I think it's a Ray Kennedy, is it? If someone can tell me, then I'd like to know. And they're taking a knee before the match, just as they always do now in the fight against racism. And Chelsea versus Leeds has kicked off. I think we'll get Liverpool's one underway in just a minute. Terrible timing there, wasn't it, to disconnect right at the start of the game. And instantly, Villa try breaking against Liverpool, and there's a foul from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Bit too cheap there. Arsenal also nearly getting in here. Southampton trying to play out, but really poor clearances, and it looks like Saka just about cutting the penalty box, trying to get a shot away, but take it out of play. Very aggressive start instantly from the two teams beginning with A, Aston Villa and Arsenal. And Chelsea opting for Werner to start today ahead of Lukaku, who got the two... Wait, I'm having a blank here. Did Werner get 2 goals against Zenit, or did he get 1? I know he got the assist with Lukaku's goal. He got 2 goals against Zenit. Yes, he did. And then the assist for Lukaku. So Alexander-Arnold putting the cross in instantly. Cleared by Matty Cash, but not far enough. And Robertson's still playing it around the box. Mane wiggling past for Cash. Cross goes to no one. Liverpool going for it already, really, at the beginning here. So, as we speak, it's a corner to Chelsea. And Liverpool are just progressing towards Villa's box. How will Villa deal with this? Can they defend in the block? Has Gerrard drilled that team to defend deep like that? Yeah, Thiago loses the ball there. And it looks like he's gone down in very theatrical fashion. Just getting a glimpse of Ralph Hasenhüttl in a very grey suede suit. Nice and classy from him. Kirsty's saying, also don't want Liverpool to win because my English team is Everton. Oh wow, that's a bit of a turn of the tides there. So already in the Arsenal game we've got a yellow card, and that's for Gabriel. I need to have a look at the replay to see what that was all about. Yeah, he just throws himself in and Brozier goes over the tackle. Really rash there from Gabriel, and his foot goes really high as well. No studs going into the tackle, but he crosses his leg across Brozier. Stupid tackle there from the Arsenal centre-back. And it's a free kick in a dangerous position. Well, dangerous position. Any free kick is dangerous for Southampton when you've got someone who can deliver a ball like James Ward-Prowse. Livramento is standing over the ball as well, but I highly doubt he'd take that over Ward-Prowse. High line from Arsenal. Couldn't be exploited by Southampton. Interesting to see how Caballero plays in this game. The 40-year-old who signed as a free agent to Southampton because of their goalkeeping crisis. Last week McCarthy was criticised for conceding that Neil Maupay goal because he was injured and couldn't dive. That's why Ward-Prowse was basically standing on his post, so trying to defend for Alex McCarthy, who was injured. What are your thoughts on the Jimenez sending off? I thought the first tackle was a really harsh yellow. I thought that was... I get why he gave a yellow. It seemed like he was obstructing play and make sure that City don't break away in some sort of counter-attack. Okay, but I still think it was very harsh. And then to get a yellow card seconds after, I think that was just silly from Jimenez. A player of experience should know better than that when you're on a yellow card to not stick your foot out. Ooh, cross here from Loftus-Cheek, and Chelsea are threatening on Leeds' goal instantly. Apologies, that was Reece James, and then the second shot came from Mount outside the box. Leeds will have a tough time against Chelsea today, even if Chelsea aren't in the best of form. But I thought it was a harsh sending off, yeah, but Jimenez, when you've got the yellow, you need to be a bit cleverer than that. I think Rangers have been crap this season. So how is it under new manager at Rangers? Have they clearly dipped since Gerrard's departure? What's happened? Is it okay? Is it not all Gerrard? Already Southampton testing Ramsdale. Easy shot to take care of down below. Oh, and Gabriel's just giving it away to Southampton. Really, really poor from them again. The shot comes in, but Ben White blocks it. Armstrong trying to get back on the score sheet. Since the last time he was back on the score sheet, which must have been about 2 weeks ago, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong. It was against Villa back in the beginning of November. Wow, so it's about a month ago that Armstrong has not scored. So Southampton, which are a bit of a weird team this season, they're fighting near around relegation. If they draw today, they're 7 points off Burnley, which is handy, but they've played 2 games more. Stu saying Seb. Stu. Love you, man. I love you, man. He's always there, Stu. James coming for an audacious shot here with the free kick. It looked like a very indirect free kick. Meslier comes really high off his line, almost to intercept a cross that was going to come into the box, and then James just shoots near the near post. It's tough target in the end, but wake-up call there for Meslier. Every time I turn my head back to the screen where Arsenal they're playing so dangerously out from the back. Here it works, and Odegaard's just giving it away to Southampton's defenders. Walker-Peters trying to run down that left to penetrate that Arsenal defence. White does just about enough so that Walker-Peters can't get past him, and Arsenal look to break. But Southampton back in possession. Yeah, poor from Arsenal already. It's been better since Van Bronckhorst has been in. It's been better than Van Bronckhorst. Oh, okay, so you think he can do better than Gerrard, or do you think that Gerrard's hard to replace? The De Graaf Shap legend is here. Oh, it looks like there's going to be a penalty here for Liverpool, and no penalty given now. I have to say I'm shocked. It looks like Matty Cash gets an arm around Mane, and Mane can't get in properly. Instantly, I can see that Loftus-Cheek losing the ball for Chelsea, and Chelsea are trying to put passes together, but they're not that fluid. Big fan of the Leeds white kit with the yellow socks. I think that looks really good. No, Van Bronckhorst is better, which is, I think it's good if they can find someone like Van Bronckhorst and it is better. I'd love to see what he can do. Yeah, they're showing a replay of the Cash arm around Mane, and I'm surprised VAR didn't check that. I think that should have been a penalty to Liverpool. Oh, Stu, watching Munich versus Mainz and Liverpool versus Villa while listening to you. My man, Stu. I have not watched Bundesliga today, which I think is unfortunate. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the Leipzig Mönchengladbach game. Oh, it's 2-0 to Leipzig already. I bet on Leipzig, so my bet is paying off. And by the looks of it, Jesse Marsch going has worked out instantly. It's Tedesco taking charge today, which is interesting. But his assistant took charge for the game against City, and I thought that was an impressive showing. I didn't think City were as bad as people made them out to be. Thought it was just a bit lackluster. But instantly, as soon as March went, it changed for Leipzig. And Guardiola getting the goal there against Mönchengladbach, so I'm a big fan of Guardiola, as people who know me would know already. The B-boy, yo! Hey, B-boy. The poor pass forward there from Robertson. Trying to look for Salah, and Salah's not looked exactly the same player in the past month. Still very critical for Liverpool. But after such a scintillating October, he's not lived up to those high expectations that he set. And I think that's very harsh of me, but he set very high standards. And I'm just glancing at the Chelsea game now and see that Reece James is just roaming into that midfield role like he did against Zenit in midweek. I think because they've also got a lack of midfielders, that could be a reason why, but James notably played in midfield for Wigan when he was on loan there and just been put at right back when he got back to Chelsea. But now, in recent weeks, we're starting to see Thomas Tuchel try and deploy him in a more central role and still try and add width to Chelsea's game. Really nice to see. I like seeing it. I think Chelsea don't have enough width, which is probably one of their problems. Alexander-Arnold takes the shot and Cash has blocked it. Good little dummy there. I think it was from Salah who dummied it. You're watching Chelsea too. I'm watching all three, Stuart. I'm watching Chelsea, Leeds, Arsenal, Southampton, Liverpool and Aston Villa. Do you think Man U will beat Norwich? As a Man United fan, I think we will. I think they will struggle. I'm still not overly impressed by Man United. I think it's going to take time. If you can't beat Norwich, I think there's a problem. I think they will beat Norwich. I just don't think it'll be as simple like with a 3-0. I think it'll be something like 1-0. Man United is still a work in progress under Rangnick. And Norwich is still a work in progress under Dean Smith, despite me thinking that Norwich's squad is, without doubt, the worst in the Premier League. So I think Man United, even if they had Ollie in charge, should beat Norwich. Even under Dean Smith, despite the improvement. Ooh, Martin is playing it dangerous. And Aston Villa are under very high pressure here in their own 16-yard box. So it's Henderson and Salah both applying the pressure there, and then Alexander-Arnold afterwards. This seems more high intensity than Liverpool's usual pressing. Just a bit scrappy here at the moment in this Liverpool game. You can tell it's quite a tense atmosphere already. I haven't got the sound on, but I can imagine. James Ward-Prowse was not far from scoring from a very far out free kick. Ramsdale pushes it behind for a corner, and by the looks of it, Southampton are dominating this first half. Not the most convincing of saves from Ramsdale, but gets it out for a corner. The B-boys could do with a couple of Ronaldo vodka. Got him in my fantasy team. Watkins is looking to try and bring the ball up for Liverpool here, and Van Dijk has clearly found him, getting his arm across there. It looked like Van Dijk had the upper hand until he started sticking his arm out. As you can remember in that fixture where Aston Villa beat Liverpool 7-2, Watkins was a key part to that. Obviously, people will be talking about Grealish in that match, but Watkins was just causing havoc for the Liverpool backline all the match. And already van Dijk looks a bit uneasy trying to take on Watkins. If he stays tight, Watkins can wriggle past him. If he gives some space, Watkins has got pace, so it's a hard one to judge. I'm just going to reiterate this, but I love that Leeds kit. I think the yellow socks with the white kit just makes it look like some sort of lemon sorbet. And James is just trying to get the ball out of his feet in the box, and he manages to. Harrison gets a shot away, and it's a corner to Leeds here. I think if Chelsea or Arsenal were to lose today, there would be some intense pressure on both Tuchel and Arteta, depending on who loses their game. Whereas I think Liverpool can be excused for not beating Aston Villa. I think Klopp has got a bit more leverage to work with. Leeds still got the ball, and Rafinha going for the left-footed shot. Going out of play, but Reece James puts it over the bar just in case. Chelsea under some pressure here. Ooh, that looked like a really bad tackle from Douglas Luiz there. That, I think, has to be a red card. In my opinion, that has to be a red card. I can't say if I've seen that properly, but it looked like Douglas Luiz went in with his studs. Now, if I'm mistaken, please someone correct me. Yeah, it looks like he goes in with his studs. Doesn't catch Mane. And that's the thing about Luiz, is he's frustrating, he's infuriating. He can be so unconcentrated, not the right word. He can lack so much concentration, but he's got so much capability. Just going to look over the results in Germany. And yes, Dortmund are losing 1-0, which is a... Oh, Bayern are losing 1-0. So what a day in the Bundesliga. And Onisiwu has scored the goal for Mainz. And Mainz have given Bayern a few good games recently, or in past years. There was that 2-1 recently in the end of last season that they beat Bayern Munich. And also the beginning of last season as well, where they were beating Bayern 2-0 at half-time. Ended up losing the match 5-2, but Mainz have given Bayern a good game recently. I remember that 5-2 Bayern Munich beat Mainz, and it was Jan Stewart there who was manager. Oh, what a save from Martinez. Robertson doesn't catch the shot properly, but Martinez does really well to get down there to his right. As I was saying, Jan Siebert was the manager for Mainz that day as an interim. Oh, it comes off Cash. That's what makes it difficult for Martinez. Great cross from Alexander-Arnold. And again, just as I glance at Arsenal-Southampton, Southampton are running circles around Arsenal. And when White has conceded a free kick in a really dangerous position on the edge of the box. Oh, sorry, Saka. So it needs to change here at Arsenal. I think the 4-2-2-2 is a great system to exploit an Arsenal side that aren't too comfortable getting out wide. Southampton would like to play in the middle with the 4-2-2-2. If you want to exploit Southampton, you've got to make the pitch really, really large. Arsenal under Arteta don't do that. They have the likes of Saka, who likes to cut in now, and Smith Rowe likes to cut in, Martinelli as well. They're not players that will stick out extremely wide and get chalk on their boots. As I've always said, if the pitch were stretched out in width and made into a square, Southampton would lose all their games. Bochum beating Dortmund. Who do you support as the B-Boys? I don't really support anyone, but actually I'm going to get this out. I don't really support anyone, but I do have a favourite team of some sort, and that is Mönchengladbach. So yeah, I like Mönchengladbach. I don't like any English teams. I'm not too bothered about Mönchengladbach. I won't watch all their games, so I just think it's a great stadium and a great atmosphere. So I like what Mönchengladbach is all about. It was quite painful seeing them lose 6-0 last week against Freiburg, and a very pathetic performance. Hutter is quite lucky that conceding 10 goals in 2 games, he hasn't got the sack. But I guess that's the Mönchengladbach mentality. They're not going to sack someone they believe in. What channel number is Liverpool? Depends which country. How is that not a red card? Not even a card. I agree with you, Stu. I think it could have been a red. I support the Graafschap like Seb. I have no idea who the Graafschap is, but I will support them in honour of Stu. Jorginho conceding a free kick in a dangerous position. Taking out Roberts there. Jorginho has been very, very clumsy since that podium finish in the Ballon d'Or. Multiple errors that have led to goals. Notably against Man United, then against West Ham. Oh, what a shot there. I want to say that was Matip, but I could be wrong. It was Henderson. He's the one on the ground. Oh no, I'm getting all this wrong now. I'll wait till the replay. So Henderson It's tackled by Nakamba, and then Oxlade-Chamberlain takes the shot, and it's just over the bar, but if a centimetre or more underneath, and that was a brilliant goal. That would have been a brilliant goal. Martinez was getting nowhere near that shot. I'm just seeing now Arteta making a signal like that, almost to communicate a bit more. Ball forward here to Watkins, and Young has got space outside the box. The shot goes way wide. Now it's Werner who commits the foul on Roberts. Roberts instantly causing Chelsea problems. It doesn't look like Leeds are getting clear chances in, but they're asking questions of Chelsea. Oh, and I missed the free kick from Rafinha. It's going in the top corner, and a good save from Mendy. And Leeds have got a free kick in a similar position now. A bit wider. Oh, and Arsenal have scored. They've opened the scoring. So Arsenal really underwhelming in this game so far, and have taken the advantage in the game against Southampton. Just look back on this goal here. I think it's Lacazette who gets the goal, captaining Arsenal today, replacing Aubameyang. Leeds free kick goes into the palms of Mendy. No problems there. So it starts from Ramsdale, passing it out to White. Partey, Tomiyasu. Just seeing the start of this goal already. It's pass from Arsenal, and really good to watch. Saka then gets it on the right, starts running into the box, crosses it. Lacazette one time gets the shot away, and it's in. It's a really, really good goal from Arsenal. The Gunners showing how they can play football there. And this is the thing, Arsenal aren't a heavily possession-based team under Arteta, but when they get the ball, they can pass it at ease. Is it Smith Rowe? No, it's Lacazette with the Saka assist, but it all starts from Ramsdale at the back, passing out to White, then White getting to Tomiyasu. So it's a great goal from Arsenal, seeing it from their own 5-yard box, and then within less than a minute, it's in the back of the Southampton's net. And Cash trying to get it to Young. Young trying to take on Van Dijk here. I don't think he's going to attempt a dribble. He puts it out for a throw-in. Chelsea just having one of their free kicks defended by Leeds, and nothing comes of it in the end. Cash trying to get the cross, and he does well, and Matip just gets a foot in on that low cross. Well defended. Alcantara tries clearing the ball, but doesn't really get his left foot on it properly. And it's McGinn who's conceded the foul against Thiago Alcantara. I think I want to compare Alcantara to Douglas Luiz. Not the same type of player. They can pass it, they can carry the ball forward, but then they can be so reckless with their tackles and switch off sometimes. Those are the comparisons I want to make there. They're both a bit reckless, but clearly have talent. So as it stands, we've got Liverpool 0, Aston Villa 0. Aston Villa aren't giving it easy, but Liverpool seem to have had the clearer chances. Great work there from Henderson, Fabinho and Alexander-Arnold. But it's Watkins who concedes the foul. And he's got the yellow card out. Wondering why he didn't get the yellow card out for Douglas Luiz before. I don't know. Yeah, it's a rash tackle there from behind. Trying to get the ball, but clumsy. 24 minutes into this Liverpool match. Smith Rose is on the bench. I think got that one wrong, Burgoyne. Leeds were looking to break there, and Thiago Silva beats Rafinha in the sprinting competition. Keeps Chelsea a bit at ease for another few minutes. It's Loftus-Cheek again who's lost possession in that midfield. Leeds so direct, it could be costly for Chelsea. Ooh, clumsy tackle there from Alonso. Does he get the ball? I think he's given a penalty. It's not clear. With a tackle on James, he has given a penalty. He's given a penalty for Leeds. Alonso going in when he shouldn't. Out wide, there's some danger, but he gets the ball, but he leaves his knee sticking out and James trips over it. I don't think that's a penalty. I think he leaves a lot in that tackle, but he touches the ball. I think the ref should look at that one again. Yeah, Robertson in here. He's got Cash on the ground. Goes in for a tackle, and that should be a penalty. That should have been a penalty from Cash again. The way Robertson dives 2 seconds delayed makes the decision for the referee a bit easier. But Cash just flying all over the place. He throws himself in multiple times to the tackle, and Robertson just goes to the ground too late. Oh, it's the one on the from the camber. And that should be a penalty to Liverpool. That's a clear penalty. There wasn't the penalty given before from Cash grabbing Mane. Oh, and Arsenal's got a second. Kept my eyes off that one. And it seems like Arsenal should be cruising now. So, at the same time as Leeds could score a penalty, because the penalty has gone past VAR, Rafinha to take it, Liverpool should have had a penalty too. Oh, and that was close. Leeds have made it 1-0. It's 1-0 to the Peacocks. And Mendy's waiting for him to go, but the side's against and nearly gets to the ball. Just talking about the Arsenal goal then, the ball's whipped in to Tierney, who can't get the ball out of his feet weirdly enough and tries crossing it multiple times. Eventually gets the header on. The ball goes into the 6-yard box and Odegaard is there to put the header away. So at the same time in the 27th minute here, Chelsea-Leeds game, we've got a goal. Same in Arsenal. Very weird position for Mendy to have had on that penalty there. So some exciting football all around today. So Marcus Alonso giving away that penalty. It's proven to be costly for Chelsea. While Liverpool looking to break in numbers here, following the Villa attack. Arsenal breaking here. Lacazette looks to be in on his own. He's got Stevens coming up onto him. Oh. The cross is well defended, but Lacazette should be doing better. Either beating him for pace or bringing the ball back and trying to play it into the box correctly, where two Arsenal players were unmarked because Southampton had just pushed too many men up the pitch. Poor there from Arsenal. Really poor. And Salah in here. Gets the ball to Robertson, but Robertson looked offside. Liverpool getting ample chances in this game, and they might regret not taking one of them. I think Liverpool could feel very hard done in this game. They should have had at least 2 penalties. Mings boots it forward. Can Young get on the end of it? He can. He gets past Allison. Can he get the ball in? Oh, well defended by Matip. Young should have taken his time there. Long ball in from Mings, and Allison goes into no man's land. Or Wonderland, shall we say. Young heads the ball past Allison, but it's too wide, and Matip covers perfectly. Young should have kept his composure, got the ball down, and got it to Watkins in the middle. Let off there for Liverpool. I think instantly Liverpool could be looking at those. Just some technical issues there. We should be back on right away. Sorry for that. Corner here for Liverpool. Robertson swings it in. Defended by Watkins. And another corner to Liverpool. Chelsea pressing Leeds high in their own last third of the pitch. Managing to get the ball back, but Loftus-Cheek losing the ball again. Thankfully, Rudiger's there to pick it up, and he goes for the shot. Well defended by Dallas, and Rafinha's got the ball. And Leeds breaking here. James against Azpilicueta. Takes him on his left foot. Azpilicueta defends well. Well defended by Azpilicueta, not letting James get past him. Liverpool get another corner here. Aston Villa struggling to clear their lines. Matip has been brilliant this season. I'd argue he's been better than Van Dijk, which says something. Well, Thiago Alcantara just loses the ball silly there. He tries dribbling McGinn. Almost seems like he hasn't decided what to do. Grin on his face there. He should be doing better. Man, it looked like he's fouled Cash there, and the foul has been given to Aston Villa. Oh, Loftus-Cheek has successfully passed the ball to someone. Jorginho's got time and space. Lofted in to Mount, but Leeds defend well. Oh, bad foul there from James. He'll get a yellow, definitely. I don't know whether he might even give a red, the ref. No, it's a yellow to James. That looked nasty, really late. Left a lot in there. Mings trying to clear his lines and just slipping. Yeah, he scissors him there, James. It's a bad tackle on James. Oh, wait. I didn't even think of that. James on James. Reece James on Daniel James. It's the James Derby. Matip looking to come upfield with the ball here. Out wide to Henderson. Can he find Alexander-Arnold? He can. Can he get a cross in? It's well blocked there by Douglas Luiz, and Liverpool will have a corner. I love it. No idea how Loftus-Cheek is in their side. I struggle to understand Loftus-Cheek. Again, another player so capable, but yet concentration is just not there. And probably one of the least concentrated players I've seen for a while. I was trying to think to myself today, which one of these teams could defy the odds, and I thought maybe Chelsea will get a draw against Leeds. I think Arsenal would beat Southampton, Liverpool would beat Aston Villa. As it stands, it looks like that could have been the best of the predictions for this match day. You need to mention which James. Yeah, so Reece James made a bad tackle on Daniel James. The Englishman scissored the Welshman. And we're getting up to 10 minutes before half time, and Liverpool's still unable to break Villa's resistance. Hard to know how. Robertson in some space out here on the left. Gets it back to Thiago. Back to Robertson. Manny grabbed by Cash. Cash goes to ground, but Manny's got space now to run into. Poor cross. Almost seems like he takes the ground before kicking that with his left foot. Manages to win a corner though for Liverpool. It's RLC wages that baffle me. 150 a week. He's on 150,000 a week. Okay. Did not know that. Another Liverpool corner. It's already 7 to Liverpool compared to Villa's 1. What do you think about Ox? He may have to do this position in January a lot with AFCON. Ox is great for pressing, and he's a real athlete. I still think his technical ability is lacking for a Liverpool side, especially to be an up front three. Oh, nasty tackle there from Roberts, and he goes in on Werner from behind. I think you could give a red for that, realistically. Just lunges off the ground and goes in behind Werner. Awful tackle from Roberts. I'm surprised he's not even got a card. I'm baffled. And Werner is absolutely livid. Rightly so. So don't forget to get your comments in there, get into touch. And Southampton looking to break at Arsenal here, but Arsenal defend that well. More resolute now the second half of this first half for Arsenal. And the ball just bouncing across field there in the Liverpool Aston Villa match. And Alexander-Arnold gets it down. A great pass forward to Mane. Mane just tries backhitting it, not looking where he's doing now. Lost the ball. And Villa can get back into shape. Yeah, I was just saying, I don't think Ox is the perfect replacement for that position in January. I think there are better suited Liverpool players that I think even... I can't remember. Well, if Elliott comes back, which I doubt it, I think he could be a great fit in that front three as well. Well, he is a winger naturally, so I don't know how his injury is going. If he's going to be recovering in time for January, I highly doubt it. But then you've got Minamino as well, who could do well. I was at the Steam Wagon pub the other week. Some more had put FC Andorra for life. I feel sorry for disillusioned drunks. What is your beef with FC Andorra then? Instantly in the Arsenal match, Caballero clearance really poor, and Arsenal work it quickly to get forward with Odegaard backing it Saka in the box, and Caballero pulls out a stop. Relatively simple save though from Caballero. Saka should be testing the goalkeeper better. Oh, and Young does well to get past Matip there. Ooh, Alexander-Arnold really badly defending there, and you should be protecting the ball better there for Alisson, because Alisson tried grabbing it, but Young got a foot in again and made it difficult for the Brazilian goalkeeper. I like what Young did there, calling French a big bridge. Alexander-Arnold showing no strength whatsoever to push off Young. Made it difficult for Alisson. Alonso absolutely taking out Dallas here, and he's got space to cross it in. Low cross. Oh, what a goal. What a goal for Mount. And Mount has made it 1-1. Great cross from Alonso. And I'm not really too sure what Meslier is doing there. If we're talking about the first post ideology, that you should be protecting your first post more than the back post, then he's left a gaping hole there for Mount to shoot into. Meslier. Firstly, Dallas, unfortunate to lose it in such a fashion to Alonso, who really sent his studs in, but then a great cross from Alonso. Low. Meslier is so badly out of position. So badly out of position. Great finish though from Mount with his left foot, and we're starting to see with Mount that his first time shots are getting a lot better. Too easy that goal though. The technique is really good from Mount, but the goal is open for him. I'm not sure what Meslier is doing. Just got a really abusive message from Stu on WhatsApp for that. Oh, Liverpool scrambling in the goal here. Aston Villa managed to defend it. Now Salah trying to take on Target. Target does well. Gets the ball back and Mings clears it. Just a bit too far, and Watkins can't get to it before Van Dijk. Ayling has given away a cheap foul here, just barging into Loftus-Cheek outside the box. Ill-timed tackle there from Luke Ayling. Ooh, what a cross here from Albertson, but Henderson can't get the shot away. Again, trying to get it forward here. Oh, that's a bad tackle there from Matip. How is that not a foul? I'm shocked by the refereeing in this game already. Ox putting it through for Salah, and he should have seen that Salah was struggling to get past target there. Easily cleared there for Villa. Southampton in a good position here. Well defended. Xhaka just gets it out for a corner. Oh no, for a goal kick for that matter. Livramento causing problems on that right hand side. Salah up against Mings. Gets the shot away. Decent save from Martinez. And Villa survived to fight another day. Munich don't look anywhere near as good with Kimmich missing. I've said this once, I'll say it again. Kimmich is one of the best midfielders in the world, and any team would miss him. Goretzka and Tolisso is just not that sort of replacement. I don't know who's starting for them, so that'd be interesting to know. So it looks like Musiala and Tolisso. It's very lightweight compared to Goretzka and Kimmich. But as we speak, Koeman has got the goal, and Dortmund have also pulled a goal back not too long ago with Marius Wolf. Favourite of Marco Rosa. Was he? No. I'm getting the wrong Wolf. I said nothing. And 1-0 to Hertha Berlin. Hoffenheim drawing 1-1 with Freiburg. And Leipzig still 2-0 up against Mönchengladbach. In Serie A, Fiorentina are 2-0 up. I'll go over the half-time results. Musiala and Tolisso today. Yeah, it's just a bit lightweight, isn't it? Tolisso is not good enough to be a Bayern Munich starter, and Musiala is just too young, and I don't see him being in a midfield too. He's just too lightweight. See a lot of Luke Leyer and Kimmich, similar style player. If you say so. If you say so. Reece James down the middle again, looking to break. Llorente does well to defend and not let him past. The ball does come back to Jorginho. Through to Havertz. In on goal. Great save from Meslier. What a great save. Havertz on the right, trying to take a shot with his left. But Meslier makes a really good save. So we're coming up to half time in all these games. 2 in Liverpool Aston Villa, minutes added on, 2 in Chelsea Leeds, and 3 in Arsenal Southampton. So we're coming up to the half an hour mark. Oh, good shot from Ward-Prowse. The wall blocks it from that free kick. I don't know what's happening with Ashley Young here. He looked injured before, so giving him treatment. It's going to be a drop ball for Liverpool. Well, Chelsea could have a penalty here. Luke Ayling with his hands all over Alonso. Really careless if so. Oh, Ramsdale has just booted the ball upfield, and Martinelli looks like he can get a one-on-one here. Can he get a shot in? Decent tackle from Redmond. Redmond does well to get a foot in. What a pass upfield from Ramsdale though. He saw Martinelli and just perfect. So it is half time at Chelsea. 1-1. And we should be coming up to half time in both the other games too. Ashley Young is still down now, so I don't know what's happening. It looks like maybe a collision of heads with Van Dijk. Another corner here for Arsenal. 30 seconds left of the first half to play. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here in the Villa game, the Liverpool Villa game. Is Ashley Young going to come off? I think he has to. It's multiple head injuries if I'm not wrong. Cross in from target. Thiago intercepts. Liverpool in a spot of trouble. But I think the half-time whistle will go. It does go. And that's half-time for Liverpool and half-time for Arsenal. So, half-time in all the games. We'll have a look at some stats. So, let's look at Arsenal Southampton first. I've clicked on the wrong thing. So if we look at Arsenal, technical problems here. Arsenal versus Southampton. So far the game, 2 goals from one from Odegaard, 1 from Lacazette. The assists coming from Tierney and Saka respectively. 51% possession to Arsenal. As I mentioned before, they're not the most dominant in possession. Arsenal, they don't dominate possession like City do, or any other team for that matter, but they can pass the ball very nicely and are comfortable playing very deep in their own half. Total shots, 6 to Southampton. It's 3 for Arsenal, 3 on target for Arsenal, 3 on target for Southampton. So Southampton getting more shots away, and at the beginning of the game it looked like Southampton could run away with it. They had Arsenal on the ropes, but Arsenal held on. It wasn't like Southampton had clear-cut chances either, so they held on. And corners, 5 Southampton, but the rest, Arsenal offside 4 times, more fouls, more yellow cards, big chances, 2 for Arsenal, none for Southampton. As mentioned before, they have had many shots, but no big chances. How many big chances missed for Arsenal? Well, it's 1, just the 1. More passes Arsenal than Southampton, just a bit. Same amount of dribbles for both teams, 2 out of 5. And possession lost more for Arsenal than Southampton, who looked shaky at the beginning, as I mentioned, a bit better near the end of that half. And yeah, so as the stats show so far, Caballero apparently is not doing too well on his return to the Premier League. Lacazette and Odegaard, along with White and Ramsdale, being the standout players. White looked troubled as well, not that convinced. Odegaard and Lacazette looked decent going forward, getting into those spaces that Southampton expose. Southampton play high line, tight, so get a lot of balls in behind, which has happened. Martinelli, Odegaard and Lacazette have all benefited from those sorts of play. And if we look at not another game, Chelsea versus Leeds, 1-1. Rafinha getting the goal from the penalty that Marcus Alonso gave away, and Mason Mount getting the equaliser, the assist from the pantomime villain, that is Marcus Alonso. And Chelsea are dominating possession, 66% to Leeds 34, total shots 11 to Leeds 5, 3 on target, 2 for Leeds. Yeah, so Chelsea statistically look like they're dominating the game, and it looks like they've gone into decent areas, but again, no big chances for them. The same could be said about Leeds, but just on a smaller scale. They have had decent patches. James has looked dangerous in that front line role. How does a 3-man defence mark a guy who is not a number 9? He'll just move into different positions, get out wide, and if they had a Daniel James who was technically more astute, maybe Leeds would be ahead in this game, but as it stands, it's only 1-1. And you see big chances, 2 for Chelsea, 1 for Leeds. I guess the 1 could be counted as the penalty. And yeah, you can see Chelsea it's dominating stats where it counts, not the dribbling stats. Lost possession less, which makes sense, but 1 less duels, which, okay. I think Roberts has been quite dangerous, but for Leeds, Chelsea have struggled to handle him, thrown him some rash tackles. It's not Rafinha this time, so that's a bit of a surprise, I guess. And if you can look at these ratings that they've given them, Daniel James is one of the better ones for Leeds, along with Rafinha. Mount for Chelsea, who has had some decent chances, and then put in that chance just before half-time, which was well taken on his left foot. Questionable merely his position. I don't know where he was. Should have been covering that part of his goal. Jorginho and Azpilicueta notably as well. Azpilicueta's been decent when called upon, restricting James from actually getting into those positions. So nothing wrong from his perspective. It was on the left-hand side where Alonso gave away the penalty that could be questioned for Chelsea. And then in the other game, the return for Gerrard. So possession-wise, I'm guessing Liverpool will have dominated. 63% to Villa's 37. Total shots 7 for Liverpool, 3 on target. Martinez made some decent saves to keep Villa in the game. 2 penalties could have been given to Liverpool. Notably, Matty Cash tackling Mane early on with his hand. And then Nakamba tripping up Robertson later on in a half. Corner kick 7 to Liverpool, 1 to Villa, 2 offside for Villa. You see the stats speak for themselves that Villa were dominated, but they did pose some questions of Liverpool. I think Van Dijk looked a bit uneasy with marking Watkins. The same could be said about Matip, but Watkins is a handful for no matter what to any team, even if he doesn't score that many goals. So yeah, the ratings here say that Liverpool's backline is the how do I say it, the better side to their play today in target, and Martinez standing out for Villa. Matty Cash has looked very off the pace, and I think he could get caught out if he continues like this in the second half. Yeah, so that's how it is for the first half. And again, as usual, your questions are always welcome, and we love the interaction, so get involved. I'm just going to go over the comments now. Joe Stanley just messaged me saying he wants to design a hoodie with a cartoon version of him dancing and a speech bubble saying Stanley, Stanley, Stanners on it. Go ahead, Joe. Why not? So, before the second half kicks off, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with you just before the second half. So it looks like they're just getting ready for the second half in the Chelsea game, and I think Liverpool now as well. So get on the way in a minute. And the second half is on the way in Chelsea Leeds. Surely be getting there soon in the Liverpool game. Loftus-Cheek now. It doesn't look like any substitutions have been made by either team. And Liverpool's second half should be getting underway any minute now. Any second now, Liverpool won. It's taken a while. It seemed like a delayed kick-off for both. So, any of your questions, as usual, get them in that comment section. I'll be running through them in just a minute. Leeds instantly on the front foot in the second half, trying to get at Chelsea. And Harrison looked to have done well, but Loftus-Cheek managed to get the tackle in. And Villa having to defend Liverpool coming right at them straight away here in the second half. There we go. Now they're all underway on my side. Let's see what people have said then. He was mentioning it to me. Definitely buy one. The Stanner shirt. Can't wait to see it. Just made chips and I could taste them a bit, Seb. Nice, nice. Oh, Nisha Uvrai, who's put 20 in. Thank you. That's means the world. Thank you. That's so nice. And so now we're underway in all these games. So, Nishanth, if I'm pronouncing that right. Where are you from? Seems like Mellier's injured Firpo, his own player, which is quite ironic. Already in the second half, filled with action in the Leeds game. Ashley Young trying to get past Alexander-Arnold. Difficult though. Oh, there is an Aston Villa corner. Block from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Quite far outside his box, but the shot was powerful from Douglas Luiz and Aston Villa get a corner. So Villa's second corner of the game. So there's only been one change in the Arsenal game. El Yanusi has come on for Adam Armstrong just before half-time. I'm guessing an injury might have occurred. None in the Chelsea-Leeds game and none in the Liverpool-Villa game. VRWR Tech. What do you mean by that, Eleanor Rose? throw-ins coming in from Matty Cash. And Leeds playing such high intensity, getting at Chelsea. Harrison wriggles round, gets the shot away, but it's easy for Mendy to take in. When there's a foul for Liverpool here, it looks like McGinn sticks an arm out into Thiago's face. Salah wanted to play quickly, but I think he's going to give a yellow card. That's why he didn't want the play to play quickly, the referee. Oh yeah, he gets an elbow into Alcantara's face, which is not pleasant. And Southampton into Arsenal's half here to Walker-Peters. Looks like he can just roam through that Arsenal midfield at ease. But Lacazette closes him down. Arsenal struggling to get the ball back away. Southampton back at Arsenal's defence again. Redmond trying to take on Xhaka. He's got Odegaard coming in behind as well. Think he's drawn the foul. No, there will be a throw-in to Arsenal, deep in their own half. And Salah just can't get the ball out of his feet, and Target deals with him. Henderson to cross it in. Mings clears it. Yeah, this is not the game that Liverpool wanted. I think they would have at least wanted the goal in the first half to calm the nerves, but it's still looking a bit erratic in this game. From both sides, that is. Great ball from Mane to get it to Robertson, who tries getting Salah in. The ball comes back to Mane, but he can't get the shot away properly. Liverpool playing it very small here. Villa trying to defend extremely narrow. There's a corner here for Chelsea. Can they try and take the lead from this one? Decent header from Werner from way in front of the near post. Flicks it on, but Meslier deals with it. Not a great corner in the end. Werner can't get much on that ball. In the Leeds game, Shackleton's just getting a yellow card. I'm not sure for what though, I didn't see it properly. Chelsea not looking exactly convincing. And Loftus-Cheek fails to control the ball properly and loses it again. Harrison to break here, up against James, up against Thiago Silva. Ball in. Thiago Silva can defend that. Chelsea playing it out the back here. Leeds pressing, but Chelsea quite stretched here, so it's difficult to defend against. Alonso to James, and James is the one who loses it in the midfield here, and Dallas picked it up and giving it to Firpo. Breaking away with Harrison now. The cross just blocked by Azpilicueta, and Chelsea can maintain possession. Now the header from Matip goes over the bar. And Mings is complaining to the referee. I'm not sure exactly what about. Kai Havertz wriggles in just outside the box. The shot is blocked. But Alonso gets a decent ball out wide and Rudiger is here to cross it in. Oh, Rafinha throws himself in. It's going to be a corner, but that looked quite dangerous. Robertson trying to break, but Watkins not letting him. It doesn't look like Rafinha exactly gets that ball. Rudiger adds on to it. He makes a bit of a hash of the reaction. Alexander-Arnold's ball forward is intercepted by Aston Villa, and it's not coming off for him as per usual. So now VAR is checking for a penalty in that Leeds game. Could Rafinha have conceded the penalty against Rudiger? Oh, what play by Alexander-Arnold. The cross is unsuccessful in the end, but the dribbling is brilliant. Yeah, I think the ref might give a penalty to Chelsea here. They're taking their time. But in the Southampton game, decent save from Ramsdale. You wouldn't want to be conceding on that angle anyway, but pulls out a decent stop against I think it's Redmond who takes the shot. And Mane gets it up forward brilliantly, but Target intercepts to not let Salah get away from him. Oh, Matip is a dangerous back pass there to Alisson. Alisson deals with it. Salah's got space. He's trying to take Mings on one-on-one. Gets onto his left foot. Outside the box to Henderson. The 1-2 is just a bit too heavy for Salah. Can he get a shot away? Back heels to Arnold, who's got space. Great cross in. Too high for Salah. And Liverpool still have it here with Robertson. The cross comes in. Salah misses it. It's out to Alexander-Arnold. Blocked by Mings. Also, it's Jorginho to take the penalty for Chelsea here. And this is the day that I took Jorginho out of the fantasy draft, which is painful. Jorginho scores, no problem. Melia goes the wrong way. So it's 2-0, 2-1 to Chelsea now. And from being 1-0 down from that Rafinha penalty, Chelsea have now taken the lead. Very important. And they haven't changed the penalty taker, so that's one thing. In the Villa game, the camber's coming up for Maximilian Sanson. Giving some indications to Douglas Luiz. I guess they might try a different system here. Aston Villa try and play out a bit easier. Maybe a 4-2-3-1. And Jacob Ramsey can't beat Van Dijk in the air here. Fabinho and Thiago Alcantara lack of communication there. Ball comes forward and just a bit too heavy for Young, but bad communication there from Fabinho and Thiago. And Rafinha, the hero, at one point now the villain, conceding the penalty. And Liverpool are getting ready to bring on Diogo Jota. And it's Oxlade-Chamberlain who comes off. He's had some moments in this game. I'm not sure how great he's been, Oxlade-Chamberlain. If someone is willing to tell me, then great. Arsenal playing it forward well here. Is nearly in for Martinelli there. Well defended by Jack Stevens. What a great ball in for Robertson, whose cross is just too close to Martinez. Jota running in the middle there. Could have made an instant impact. James getting past multiple Leeds players and drawing the foul. Ooh, Arsenal wriggling it in. It looks like it might be an offside. The ball seemed to have scrambled into the goal, but the offside flag has been raised. And Gabriel thought he'd scored there. Ooh, Alexander Salah's shot just a bit too far, a bit too high. Good attempt from the Egyptian. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a... Oh yeah, so Gabriel does look offside when Tomiyasu heads the ball down. Caballero comes for the ball, which also helps Gabriel be offside. If... I can't even remember his name. Caballero stays on his line, Gabriel would definitely have not been offside. But by the looks of it, Gabriel might just be offside. Oh, what a scuffed shot there from Jota. Not the impact he wanted to make there. And Villa can play out, but have drawn a foul from Thiago Alcantara. And VAR is just checking if this Gabriel goal will count for Arsenal. They have given it as offside, yes. Arsenal are trying to get it ball forward again and probably trying to make up for a goal they think they should have had. Target gets it forward and Young to take on Matip here. Matip protects it well. Young battling though, not giving anything up. Ref gives a foul against Young with that. Rash tackle, dare I say. Rafinha and Jack Harrison trying to take on Reece James in this little period of play. James struggling, Rafinha and Jack Harrison both having really quick feet. Van Udo is a babe. I have no idea that is Jamie Burgoyne. Oh, great work from Watkins there to take Fabinho out the picture. And Sanson does well to get Watkins around Alcantara. Great play here from Aston Villa if they can make something of this. And Liverpool get back possession with Mane. Ball does go out again for a Villa throw-in though, so... Not maintained for long enough possession by Liverpool. Great save from Mendy on that last instant. One-on-one with Rafinha, spreads himself perfectly. Leg saving the shot there. Roberts is furious that Rafinha didn't pass to him in the middle. Oh, and it's 3-0 to Arsenal. The Gunners have made it 3. Convincing win here against Southampton. Gabriel felt robbed of a goal and now Arsenal have one back, and I think it is the Brazilian who's got it. I think he has, just not minutes after having his goal disallowed for offside. Gabriel has scored. So a corner from Arsenal. Martinelli whips it in with his right foot. And Gabriel just gets on the end of it while Lacazette is staying on Caballero. Good goal for Arsenal, bad one for Southampton to concede. I think Arsenal will be looking back on this match and saying, well, if he had his first 2-3 choice goalkeepers available, it could have been different. Arsenal are taking their chances here. Southampton aren't. Oh, Leeds back into Chelsea's final third and really outplaying the defence here. Koff doing well to get past Thiago Silva. Roberts now trying to wriggle past Rudiger. The shot was tame. Easy for men to deal with. So Cleese, sorry, not Koff. So Leeds have made a substitution, which is Cleese coming on for Shackleton. Damn it, it was Pele if he played in the proper league. Okay. So it looks like Liverpool are getting a penalty here. And it's obviously Mings, isn't it? Had to be Mings. A really clumsy tackle, like he usually does. This is so Mings-esque. Just whacks at Salah's legs. And it's going to be a penalty to Liverpool. And it's going to be Salah to take it. Salah, who doesn't miss penalties in the Premier League. So on the 65th minute, can Salah make it 1-0 to Liverpool? Key moment in the game. Liverpool, who should have probably already had 2 penalties before this, now have a chance with this penalty. And Martinez hoping to be the hero here with a penalty save, which would definitely cool the nerves at Anfield. Martinez, who has started to become quite the penalty stopper. We'd take out if we look into the Copa America. There's also the penalty that Bruno Fernandes skyrocketed against him earlier in the season. I don't think Martinez would dare celebrate this early on in the game if Liverpool were not to score this penalty. But I think the odds are stacked against him when Salah is taking the penalty. He's pointing for Martinez, wants Salah to go to his right. Oh, and a good penalty. Really good penalty from Salah. Martinez goes the right way, but there's no stopping that. Powerful to the bottom. And every time I turn to this Chelsea-Leeds match, it seems like Leeds are in the ascendancy, you know, really giving Chelsea a hard time in their defence. Perfect penalty there from Salah. Perfect. What more could you ask? So now 1-0 for Liverpool against Aston Villa, and the favourites in these games are currently showing who the superiors are, who the top teams are. Oh, and Arsenal have just hit the bar there. Looking to absolutely steamroll Southampton this afternoon. And Arsenal needed this after a few really lacklustre performances. Good ball forward from Cash, and Jacob Ramsey taking on at Robertson. Managed to get Cash in. Robertson's recovered his position. Gives it through to Sanson, who looked clearly offside, and the cross was poor. It goes to Alisson. But now the referee's assistant has lifted the flag. And the cameras are concentrating on Hudson-Odoi in the Chelsea match. Maybe we'll get to see him on the pitch. Southampton just pressing Arsenal, but Arsenal managing to find a way out of this high press. Their passing against teams like this can be with ease. They love to play when people apply high pressure. A little less structured defensively, and Arsenal can break it down, like they have done in this match notably. And it's Young who comes off, it's Buendia who comes on. And it seems weird that Buendia wouldn't start ahead of Young, but Young's had a decent game. Let's see if Buendia can be a real impact sub. Not what he went to Aston Villa for, not what Aston Villa bought him for, but now that's the position they find himself in. Let's see what he can do. Lacazette has stayed on the ground here and didn't look that bad, but he's making the most of it, and Arsenal aren't getting a free kick. But now in possession of the ball again, and they're playing into Southampton's box. It's out for a goal kick. Liverpool playing well in here, and Robertson to Mane. Sanson make sure that Mane can't get the cross in. That's Gabriel who comes off in the Arsenal game. The goal scorer. Scored 2 depending on how you want to see things. One of them was allowed, one of them wasn't. Really in this game now Chelsea are holding on. Leeds are definitely improving, and if they can get a late equaliser like the other week against Brentford in another 2-2 game, then I think Bielsa would take that. Even if Chelsea aren't in the best of form, going to Stamford Bridge and getting a point under Thomas Tuchel would be very good for them. It's a free kick in a dangerous position here for Leeds, and Rafinha would back himself to get something from this. It's a good position for Cleek as well, who can definitely whip them in at that range. It looks like Hasenhüttl changed the tyre at half-time. It looks like he's wearing a black coat now and no longer the grey suit. Okay. And it goes into the wall from Rafinha. Danny Ings is the one getting ready. Against his former club. And Salah up against Target. Target blocks it again so well. He's had a tough afternoon, Target, but he's dealt with it very well. And Hudson-Odoi comes on for Werner, which I think is quite weird. I thought he'd put Werner up top and then maybe put Hudson-Odoi on for someone like for Havertz. Okay. And Azpilicueta seems to be another one taking his armband off and giving it to Jorginho, and will be Christensen. Christensen, who I thought was really poor against Zenit in midweek. He looked like if he doesn't have any sort of physical presence next to him, he also is exposed physically. So with the likes of Rudiger and Thiago Silva, I think there's not too many problems. But if he was on his own with like a Yang, I think his name is, then he looked really badly exposed against Zenit midweek. Leeds still playing Chelsea off the park in the second half. Chelsea trying to play out from the back, but Leeds are just swarming onto them. This could be costly for Chelsea. They want to hang on to the 3 points, maybe try going back to basics, because Kai Havertz hasn't got a touch of the ball as I've seen in the second half. It's Jacob Ramsey who's going to give way for Danny Ings. So I guess that might mean he's either going two up top with Watkins and Ings, or he'll stick Watkins out wide. Now Ramsdale paused into a decent save there, and it's a corner to Southampton. The young Arsenal protege will want to keep a clean sheet, given that he's failed to do so in recent weeks. And I was about to say a great crossfield pass there from Rafinha to Dallas, but it's just a bit heavy. As we speak now, Henderson just out wide, looking to get the cross in, but he brings it back to Alexander-Arnold. And gets it to Salah, who does look offside. Play will continue. If a goal does come from this, I guess VAR will take a look at that, but he might not have been offside for all I know. Hudson-Odoi just getting fouled there in the middle of the park, and that can really help Chelsea just get the ball up the pitch, which they so badly need to do because Leeds are swarming them. What a save from Ramsdale. A low save there, and a terrific one for Aaron Ramsdale. Stevens puts the ball through, and can't see the player who's taking the shot, but what a great low save there for Ramsdale. And he's proving my point. I'll say to Jamie Burgoyne, if he's still listening, prove my point. Well, I was Teller who took the shot. Corner for Southampton. Nothing comes of it. Martin is trying to play out from the back, and Liverpool are just adding numbers upfield there against Villa and not making it easy for them to play out. Thiago giving it to Fabinho. Bit of a lazy pass. Fabinho does well to intercept Villa's ball after that, but the midfield pairing of Thiago and Fabinho is not looking that stable today. Looking a bit shaky. Lack of communication, and look like they're walking onto each other's feet, treading on each other's own turf. Chelsea finally get the ball moving forward. Hudson-Odoi gets to Loftus-Cheek. Looks to take a shot on. He gets out wide to reach James. Can't really find room to get a shot to get a cross in from out wide here. Gets to Alonso just on the D. Back to Jorginho, and Jorginho goes all the way back to Thiago Silva. Great burst of pace here from Thiago Silva. Gets to Alonso. Hudson-Odoi looking to get the cross in. He does with Thiago Silva. Decent shot, just goes wide. Hudson-Odoi cutting in on his left foot again, which I think killed them in the game against West Ham last week. They had Ziyech still on the pitch. He could have been running down that side and getting balls in with his left foot, but Hudson-Odoi was so adamant to just use his right foot constantly that West Ham knew how to defend against it. Just show him the byline. He's not going to go there because he won't cross on his left foot, which just is madness for a professional footballer that he wouldn't even try crossing on his left foot. I found that really hard to believe, and here again he purposely cuts in on his right foot. Now, of course, you want him to cut it in on his right foot. His right foot is his preferred foot. But when you need to penetrate a team down near the byline, then you've got to not be afraid of using both feet, and Hudson-Odoi just doesn't. And it's so predictable for West Ham last week. I think that's one of the changes that really killed Chelsea's chances in the game. The Lukaku one and the Hudson-Odoi one. So it looks like we've nearly got 10 minutes in all games. Nearly. Jamie Burgoyne saying, I hate Doncaster. Please do elaborate, Burgoyne. Firpo on the ball. Gets it up. Roberts can't compete with Thiago Silva, and and Thiago Silva is not the tallest of players. He's, if I'm right in my research, which could be completely flawed, I don't think he's even 6 foot. Watkins doing really well to get past Henderson and Matip here. Gets it to McGinn. McGinn to Douglas Luiz. Cross to Cash. Cash gets the cross in, dealt with by Van Dijk. Good play there from Aston Villa. Some individual talent also showing. And he's taken Jota out of that. Konsa. Great dribbling from the centre-back. And Douglas Luiz looking to spread the ball again. He gets it perfectly to McGinn's feet. Such great foot on him. Watkins to cross it. Intercepted by Roberts. No one was really coming in there except for Ings, who misses the ball. And Watkins has just been whistled for offside here. Before putting that ball in, that was intercepted by Robertson. Leeds also sprinting the ball across field here. Miscommunication between Harrison and Firpo there. Unfortunate. Leeds have been unfortunate in the second half. I think they've been much better than Chelsea from what I've seen. Corner from Villa coming in now. McGinn to take it. Comes in. No one there. Mings goes near the near post. It goes over his head and Matip intercepts where no Villa player is. Jota can't get out of his feet and Villa are back on the ball into Liverpool's final third. And Douglas Luiz with another excellent crossfield ball to McGinn here. McGinn to Cash. And Leeds have got a draw, an equaliser. Wow, I missed that. Leeds have found the equaliser, and as I mentioned, I think Chelsea could draw this game, and there and behold, Chelsea are drawing in the 82nd minute. And Leeds have deserved this by far. Well played. Thiago Silva keeping everyone on side. Roberts puts the cross in, and I think it's Gerrard who gets the final touch there. Good goal there, just coming in the box. It is Gerrard. Hart, am I saying it right? Good cross from Roberts, just in front of the goalkeeper and just behind the striker. Salazar is on his own here. Poor pass that Konsa intercepts, but really good chance for Liverpool there. Now Villa can find their defensive shape again. Thiago to Mane. Trying to find a shot. He does, and it's blocked by Mings. Looked scary there for Aston Villa. Didn't know where that ball was going. And Leeds have definitely deserved this draw. Chelsea have been poor again, and questions will be asked of Tuchel. I know he's got injuries, but that midfield really needs to be reviewed. Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho have been losing balls where they shouldn't be, and they've not found a way to properly penetrate Leeds when Leeds almost knew that their threat would come out wide. So they've tried pushing Chelsea in narrow, and when they push in narrow, and Chelsea don't have room to manoeuvre in. When they don't have room to manoeuvre in, they struggle to find those passes properly. So just cutting off the wide areas for Chelsea is the way to beat them. It seems simple, but it is. And it's, again, another team that play 4 at the back that have beaten Chelsea, which is a common theme that I will try and go over in detail another time. And again, look to have lost out to Matip there, but managed to just keep it. Douglas Luiz taking Matip on in his own half. Oh, great from is it Sanson there or Buendia? It's Buendia. Such good feet there. Quick feet, and managed to draw the foul from Milner. In the Arsenal game, it's Lacazette who was coming off, making way for Nicola Pepe, who we've not seen much of this season. Maybe last season was the one to kick on, and if it wasn't last season, then his 3rd season in England would have been the one to kick on. Havertz finding space. Looked like he could have drawn a foul there. Not sure that will be reviewed by VAR. It didn't look clear and obvious, but Leeds are looking to break now with Gerrard. Oh, and he's got Cleachin. Such a good pass. Caught Thiago Silva out. The shot comes in and it's blocked by the Brazilian. And again to bring the ball in here. The cross is blocked and Watkins is going to fight Matip for it. Goes out for a goal kick. And Saka's in here. He's on his right foot. Brings it out to Tomiyasu. Cross goes in and Pepe doesn't fight for it. He just steps back, and then Livramento's got no problem taking that ball on whatsoever. The shot from Partey goes way over. Southampton can get back in possession here. Alexander-Arnold forward. Another poor pass from the England international. It's not been his day. And it's Alonso who comes off for Lukaku. So Tuchel giving Lukaku only 4 minutes of game time. I think that should be big news. Forward here. Ings looking to get in, but Matip and Alisson really muddling up there. What went on there? They get away with it, Liverpool, but Aston Villa is still in Liverpool's half. Oh, and Fabinho scrambling the ball around as well. This is exciting, and Alisson and Matip. Matip gets in Alisson's way while he's clearing, and ricochet after ricochet. Aston Villa look like they could get in. Sanson. Oh, he should have seen that Cash was offside. Liverpool hanging on here. The only convincing win of the day is Arsenal's. Ings tries getting around Alisson, and does Alisson trip Ings up without touching the ball? I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I think he just gets a touch on the ball. There could be cause for a penalty. I'd be calling for that if I were an Aston Villa fan. Chelsea in the 88th minute looking to get what could be a crucial winner in the title race. City won today by 1-0. Liverpool are winning by 1-0. Ruben Loftus-Cheek just staying on his heels. The pass comes forward and it leads intercept, and just sloppy from Loftus-Cheek there. And again, to reiterate the midfield problems at Chelsea, Loftus-Cheek is just not up to it. I don't think they've got many better solutions with the likes of Barkley, who played there Wednesday night and was just dreadful. Kante and Kovacic will need to come back as soon as possible. It's Mane who comes off now for Minamino. So, we're coming to the end of these games. What are your thoughts on them? Is there a man of the match sticking out for these matches? Is there something you've been impressed with? Oh, and Salah's roulette there around Sanson. Gets it to Milner, and great play from the Egyptian. To Fabinho, Van Dijk, to Alisson. And Liverpool want to slow the tempo down in this game because they've come under pressure in the last few minutes. Arnold gets it forward. Mings to deal with it. I'd be curious to know how many times Alexander Arnold has lost the ball today. I don't think he's been particularly bad. I think he's just lost the ball quite a bit. Chelsea looking to get in here, and Meslier helps his team out there. Arteta will be delighted with this 3-0 over Southampton, which they showed themselves to be formidable opponents, but not formidable enough. Too many injuries, too many absentees. Even Romeo being absent is a big one. Armstrong coming off early. Unfortunate for Southampton, and they invested this summer to try and make sure that their squad isn't as thin as it was last year. And for the moment, it's not really paying dividends. They are 16th. They are 6 points ahead of Burnley in that relegation spot. Burnley need to win their 2 games in hand, and they'll be level on points to Southampton. They're 3 points ahead of Watford, so that's fine. If Burnley get themselves out of it, Watford would drop in and not Southampton. But it's not looking like plain sailing for Southampton, this relegation fight. Mount just trying to get past Ayling. Ayling clearly pulling on his shirt. Chelsea managed to get the ball out. Mount to Lukaku, and it looks like a penalty to Chelsea. Oh. Oh. And it's Clichy who concedes the penalty. He pulls down Lukaku. Or is it Rudiger? It is Rudiger who he pulls down. Matthijs Clichy has pulled down Rudiger, and this will be a penalty for Chelsea. And again, I've just taken Jorginho out of my fantasy draft, and, well, who's Chelsea's penalty taker? So, as we're entering stoppage time for Chelsea, it looks like Jorginho can make it 3-2 to Chelsea, and this is a real get-out-of-jail card because Leeds have dominated the second half. And in the Liverpool game, as we speak, there is also 4 minutes of added time. Chelsea, there's 5, and Arsenal yet to see how much added time there'll be in that game. But I think, yes, it's a penalty. Clichy stakes a leg out, and Rudiger falls over. So the German, who has been rumoured to go to Real Madrid, has won a penalty for Chelsea in the dying seconds. Wonderful play here by Arsenal. 1-2 football, and Saka gets the shot away, but it just goes wide of Caballero's goal. Oh, there's an interception there, and it will be an Arsenal corner. The deflection coming there from Lianco. Oh no, well, but the corner has not been given to Arsenal, and so there'll be 3 minutes of added time in the Arsenal game. Martinez with a free kick here for Aston Villa, trying to get Villa up the pitch. High line from Liverpool. Van Dijk deals with the long ball, but it comes back to Sanson. To Cash. Robertson can't do much. Gets it to Mings. And Cash is putting Robertson under some pressure in the second half of the second half. Jorginho to take the penalty. And he scores. And it's 3-2 to Chelsea. Oh, that is painful for Leeds. That is very, very painful. So I guess this just reinforces his argument that he thinks he should have won the Ballon d'Or. Alexander Arnold trying to whip it into Jota here. Jota's chest down. Gives Konsa too much time to get on the ball. And Buendia won't take it away now. Sanson, sorry. Now to Buendia. Buendia can't get out of his feet, and Fabinho fouls him. Fabinho in possession again, gets Salah through, and Salah can't get the ball into his feet properly. Cash manages to cover it to Jota, and the shot is over. Goal kick. Decent chance for Liverpool. Villa really putting all their men up the field and opening themselves up, and Douglas Luiz is the one covering at the back and just lazily lets Salah go. Gets the tackle in, but then Jota gets a shot away that he should be doing better, and he's not balanced properly. Liverpool Klopp urging his players now to give a good count of themselves at the end of this game. Watkins, the ball long in behind and troubles Robertson, but the Scotsman manages to get it out for a throw. Oh, Kai Havertz has just taken a big whacking there from Tyler Roberts. Roberts, who's been, every time I look at the screen, been playing with his luck with the tackles here. Matty Cash is preparing for a long throw here. All Villa players in the box. Towards Mings, and Mings ducks out of it. Fabinho looked like he was pushing his back. And it's full time. It's full time in a Liverpool game. So, Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0, and it's the goal from that man again, Salah, who makes the difference. I think we should be coming up to full time in both other games as well. And big 3 points for Liverpool on Gerrard's return. Making sure that the Liverpool legend doesn't come away from Anfield with any of the points. And the Arsenal game is also over now. Full time there. Arsenal have won 3-0. Just waiting on Chelsea with the 5 added minutes. I guess more will be added on because there's a penalty check, and now the referee is waiting for Chelsea to take the throw in deep into Leeds half. Lukaku trying to keep the ball. Leeds can't really get a hold of the ball and it just keeps going out for a Chelsea throw. They're purposely going to waste time here. Oh, and Havertz is starting to get angry. Head on head with Firpo. Not a good idea from the German there. And Reece James purposely wasting time, quite clearly. So we're 7 minutes into this. It's supposed to be 5 minutes played. Now the whistle has gone. It is full time in the Chelsea game. 3-2, but there is a scuffle here at the end that started, and Firpo's in the middle of it. Rudiger's grabbing him by the shirt there, and he's also getting involved in another little scrap here with Llorente. It's all kicking off here at the end, which I think is very useless. Lukaku's the one pulling Rudiger away. When you've won the game, why are you getting involved in that sort of conflict? Anyway, so full time in all the games. All the home teams have won. Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool have all won, as would have been expected beforehand. They were odds-on favourite, all of them, to win these games. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look through the statistics as per usual. So let's go from Liverpool Aston Villa first. 1-0. It was the penalty from Salah that made the difference. Tyrone Mings being the one to concede that penalty. Possession 63% to Liverpool, 37 to Aston Villa. 20 shots to Liverpool, 5 on target. You see, a bit wasteful. I notably think of Jota as well, swinging at balls and not really getting them on target. But if you see the stats here, Liverpool dominated the game. Villa had no shots on target. There were moments where Alisson looked uneasy, typically the one where he tried clearing it, deflect off Matip, and just about managed to recover. But there were stages where Villa looked like they could get something. Didn't get a goal though, and Villa lose that game. Gerrard has lost his 5th game in charge. And as you can see, corners, Liverpool much, much more than Villa, but also more fouls, 13-6. They're being clever about the way they fouled as well. I think the referee was very lenient to Villa and a bit more strict towards Liverpool. Liverpool could have had 2 penalties in that first half. One from Cash putting his arm ahead of Mane, and one from Nakamba tripping up Robertson. Big chances, 4 to Liverpool and none to Villa. If you see here, hit woodwork, big chances, misses, none, counter-attacks, none. And Martinez has made 4 saves, whereas Alisson made none. But Martinez made some very important ones as well, which kept Villa maybe in the game. The stats don't paint the picture. Villa actually were competitive in this game. And if we're going to look at the other games that we were watching today in the Premier League, we'll go to Arsenal-Southampton, where the Gunners won 3-0. Goals coming from Lacazette, Odegaard, and Gabriel. There's also a goal disallowed by Gabriel when he was offside. So 3 minutes after he scores a goal. Talk about timing from a centre-back, hey? Possession, 62% to 38. Arsenal dominated again this game, but Southampton did have some decent chances by the looks of it, but even here it's written none, so I must have not been paying too much attention. And yeah, all the stats, Arsenal completely outplayed Southampton. Southampton looked lackluster. They looked depleted after 20 minutes. They looked like it was over. If you can see all the ratings from players here, the only one of note is James Ward-Prowse, who was on free kick duty as usual and got some decent crosses in, but nothing more than that. Odegaard standing out amongst them all, and Ramsdale, as I saw, making quite a few important saves. So here they've chosen Ramsdale statistically as the man of the match. And Chelsea versus Leeds, where 3-2, but 3 of the goals were penalties. 2 from Jorginho, 1 from Rafinha. Klich and Rafinha conceding the penalties for Leeds, and for Chelsea it was Alonso. There we go. Possession stats, Chelsea dominated 58% to Leeds 42%. Leeds looked a lot better in the second half. I'm curious to see, yes, they dominated possession in the second half. Dominated. They had more possession. And Chelsea had more shots. Leeds didn't have a small amount of shots. 12 shots is still a high number with 5 on target. And the goalkeeper saves 3-3 each. Melia was questionable for the first Chelsea goal, but the rest, the penalties, you can't expect much. Here, you can see that many Leeds players are backline getting yellow cards, which is an indictment of how they played as well. Quite rough. Same with Chelsea. Reece James got a yellow card. Mason Mount, they probably could have got more. Alonso could have got one. Here written that Jorginho was probably the best player. I have my doubts. I thought in midfield Chelsea looked a bit off the pace. Leeds looked to completely run over Chelsea in that midfield area. Loftus-Cheek looked out of sorts. So wasn't that impressed. I'm just going to check something, and this is not to continue hate towards him. Possession lost 29 from Alexander-Arnold, and I didn't think it was a great game from him, but I didn't see everything, so his crosses and passes didn't come off as you usually expect from him. 73%, not a bad ratio, but it usually is better from him. So yeah, that is the Premier League scores then on the 4 o'clock kickoff. Don't forget to get your questions in because don't forget to get your comments and questions in, like, subscribe. We're going saying Rudiger got 2 assists according to FLP, 1 for the pen. Actually, he was fouled on both the penalties. So the first one was Rafinha who fouled Rudiger on the first penalty, and on the second one it was Klich who fouled Rudiger. So Rudiger got 2 assists in fantasy Premier League because he won both penalties for Chelsea. There we go. So been a pleasure doing this. Thanks for everyone getting involved. Thanks for the super chat that we did receive, and I hope to see you all soon. We've got more streams coming up. We've got Jamie doing the F1 tomorrow on a final day. Verstappen versus Hamilton. That's the big talking point. Watch for that one. I've been Seb. It's been fun. Thank you for everyone taking part, and we'll see you again.